6. Hello, my fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Claudia for any of you that don't know, because I'm sitting back there. As I thought of what I was going to talk about for my icebreaker, I wanted to key in a theme for today, which is motivation. I thought if I could describe my life with one word, it would be resilience. Because it's been a roller coaster. I was born in a city in Mexico called Chihuahua. Like the little dog, it was actually named after a Chihuahua state. Because Chihuahua is called Chihuahua. Don't know why, but it is. My family moved to Las Vegas when I was around 6 or 7 years old. Most of my family lived here in Las Vegas, including my paternal grandmother. Moving here was really hard for me. I didn't speak a word of English. I couldn't communicate with my new elementary classmates. Thank goodness for this little girl named Gabriella that used to translate for me. I learned to speak the language, or at least get by within 6 months. I was a really quiet girl, not because I was an introvert, but because I could not communicate. By the time I got to high school, my English had gotten much better. I decided to take a course in a trade center called for quality customer service. It helped me land quite a bit of the jobs I had in the service industry. My first service job was in an ice cream shop. I love ice cream. I gained a lot of weight there though. My second job was for Namco Cybertainment. How many of you have heard of the game Pac-Man or played it? Okay, so Namco Cybertainment released and developed the game Pac-Man in 1980. I was the happiest 17-year-old ever. I loved video games and worked for a great gaming company. I started there as a ticket counter for prices. Within 3 months, I was promoted to assistant manager. Months later, they gave me my own store at the Sunset Station. My duties there were to get the money out of the vending machines where you go in and put money and you get tokens out. I did that. I would take them to hard count. We would count the money. I sent reports over to Chicago, their main office. I had to hire, fire, change tickets in the machines, order prices, you name it. I had different responsibilities there. I can say this job was the foundation of many of my skills. After 2 years, I decided to go into sales. I got a job as a jewelry salesperson at the Aladdin Hotel and Casino, which is now Planet Hollywood. I learned to hustle because I was a very small hourly and commission employee. I had to work hard to pay college. At age 21, I got married. After the first year, I had a baby, my daughter Cheyenne. Things got hard. I stopped going to college. My husband lost his first home during the recession, like many other people in 2008. He was in the flooring industry, and a roller coaster had taken a huge dip. We moved to a small apartment. I started to realize I needed to make more money to help him. I applied at the MGM Grand Casino as a hotel dispatcher. I loved the job, but the money was still not great. Working there, I realized cocktail waitresses were making a good living. So I decided to apply. I decided to apply to the Aladdin, where I worked before. I had a friend that recommended me. I got the job. And I thought my roller coaster was up from there. 2 weeks later, I didn't pass my background check. What, why, how? I've never done anything illegal. It was a mistake that cost me the job. Yeah, they asked me to reapply in 60 days, which I did, and I applied to many other jobs. After a while, I did get a call from Wynn Las Vegas, and they wanted me to come in for an interview. I went to my first interview, and it was literally 5 minutes long. They took a look at us, they said hi, they told us to talk a little about ourselves, and send us off. I thought, oh, I really didn't make this job. I didn't really get this job. I went a couple of weeks later. They did send me an email for a second interview, a photo shoot. Why a photo shoot, right? Well, here I go. I went and they called us one by one and they wanted us to pose for the pictures. And and I've never done anything like this before. At the time I was really shy. So what I did, I just watched what the other girls were doing that looked like models and they were extremely tall. And I just copied them. And I really thought, oh, these girls are so tall and beautiful, how are they gonna hire short little me? I did get a third interview. My third interview after 3 months of hiring process was with the director of beverage. She hired me, and when she hired me, she said, "Are you ready to leave the bellman and join the girls?" Because I was working as a hotel dispatcher. I said, "Yes, I am today." I did work as a cocktail waitress for 7 years total. I worked for Wynn 2 years, the Cosmopolitan 4 years, SLS 1 year. Eventually I did get burnt out. It was a hard job, very rewarding. I did get to travel a lot. I made enough money to even save, which I hadn't been able to do in a long time. I did go back to school to learn QuickBooks. I eventually left the cocktail waitress industry to join my husband in the family business, which was flooring. He had been in the flooring business since he was 19, which I avoided for a long time. We opened a showroom here in Las Vegas, which is what Faye was talking about in Style Flooring and Designs, with his brother. Eventually, we sold our share to him. And while we were still working there, I ended up opening him an LLC so that he could still work independently for anyone. I also work for Greenlight Productions, Juani's company. I help her with the books as well. Before I go, I did want to tell you guys, I did originally have a plan. I had plan A, plan B, now I'm on plan elemental P.